Hey y'all, and welcome back to Save the Day with Tara. I am a middle-aged wife living her middle-class life with a budget. Today, I'm going to go back and revisit the 7 baby steps. And today's more of a teachable moment. The reason it's a teachable moment is because sometimes people interpret things differently. I think a lot of us interpret things differently. Um, and where we are in our journey may be different than where somebody else is in their journey. And also taking things literally. And when I say literally, somebody taking something very literally, um, and not understanding that things are fluid. If you understand that things are fluid, then what you know is that you work to control what you can, and then sometimes you have to improvise. So we're going to start off with 2 words. 2 words we're going to start off with. The first one is fluid, and the second one is fungible. 2 phrases. The first one is budgets are fluid. The second one is money is fungible. What does that mean? Budgets are fluid. That means that they are ever changing. Situations, circumstances may arise to where you have to change your budget accordingly. As a result, money is fungible. What does that mean? Is that the money can be utilized in a different place compared to where it was originally intended. For our community, the cash budgeting community, the zero-based cash budgeting community, and cash stuffing, what that means is we set up our budgets, we have our sinking funds, we have our monthly expenses, we have our variable expenses. Some months, we're covering our our fixed and variable expenses. Sometimes we're able to put something in a sinking fund, sometimes we're not. Whether it's high priority, low priority, sometimes we're able to save in a savings challenge, sometimes we're not. Okay. Um, we'll start with the budget first. The budget comes down to, well, we have that. The budget comes down to, hey, I budgeted for these things, these items, but maybe a bill came in and it was a lot more than what we expected. So that reduces my ability to be able to put that money towards a sinking fund I thought I was going to be able to, or towards a savings challenge I thought I was going to be able to. All right. That is our budget being fluid. Money being fungible is something happens. So you've gone along for half the year, everything went well. And I'm going to bring up the oldest one, true to time, is the car. Your car will break down at the most oddest times that you're like, come on, you were just working yesterday and now you're not working today. So you've gone along all year, it's 6 months, you've contributed to this sinking fund for car maintenance, going along the schedule that you had set out, you had planned and everything, but you're a little short on getting whatever needs to be fixed. You're short by say $200 or $300, but over in your Christmas fund, you have an extra, well, not extra, you have $300, and you're like, well, I probably still have about maybe 3 more months that I can save for Christmas. I just won't get as much as I thought. I'm going to use that money from Christmas and I'm going to bring it over here to the car maintenance fund. Okay, that's fungible. That means the money I was going to use in one spot, it's now going to be used in another spot. Budget's fluid. I apologize, guys. Budget is fluid. Money is fungible. So we're going to go over this with the 7 baby steps. So I got my first hate comment. Oh, it was, what did it wasn't hate, but the way it started off was, don't take this the wrong way. Well, anytime somebody starts off like that, it's a whole lot of things coming after that. And it was a barrage of things. And it was mainly about how, well, you failed the Dave Ramsey 7 baby steps. And it's like, what? Really? How? And so, and so I'm like, okay. And so that person said their explanation is why they thought. And, I explained some things to them. And then I realized, you know what? It's okay, because people don't know where you are in your journey for your life, your budget, or anything. If that person, other than the one video they saw, had a look, hey, I just started my journey in December, right? If they had paid attention to the video, they would have understood. I was just seeing where I compared because I said, okay, I'm going to start using Dave Ramsey again. And I used it way back in my 20s. I'm going to use it again. Let me see where I am. It doesn't mean that I can't do what Dave Ramsey says. It says, hey, where am I? The other thing is, one thing I've learned about this community in regards to, because I don't think that person's a part of this community, it was just what I had put in my description. One thing I've learned about the budgeting community, in addition to budgeting, zero based, cash stuffing, cash challenges, is that you are in multiple pots at one time. Let me say this again. You are in multiple pots at one time. You can set your goals of what you want. You totally understand you have some that are more a higher priority than others. You also understand you have everyday expenses, monthly expenses, bi-monthly, bi-annual, whatever it is, annual, that occur that you have to pay. You understand all of that. But one thing you most definitely understand is you are in multiple pots at one time. So if I'm in multiple pots at one time, how come I can't be in multiple pots according to the baby steps? The great thing about this is, and I'm going to reiterate, like I stated in my first video, where am I? How do I measure up right now at the beginning of the year? I did not realize I was in as such of a good spot as I was until I actually sat down and did this. Until I realized, until I actually sat down and did this to realize, oh my God, I'm in a better spot than I thought. For example, up here, hey, I literally already have an emergency fund and I already have this money saved. I did make a plan to pay off my debt. Man, 3 to 6 months, I actually have 5 months worth of expenses. So literally, it's already fully funded to 3. And I could work to get fully funded to 6. Okay. So then saving for the investment. Okay. I have a work 401k. I'm going to utilize that. You got to be crazy if you don't utilize that work 401k. If I go by what that person said, in the savings for the children, pay off your home. This is later on, and this is 7. One of the things that Ramsey says most definitely is these first 3. So you will be in these first 3 at the same time. That's kind of crazy. You're gonna be within these first 3 all the time. Right up here, you have to create a budget anyway, right? Even to get here if you're not here. Okay. Then your next thing is, as you get this, now you're going to be in these. Why wouldn't you be? I'm not going to miss out on the opportunity to utilize my company's 401k, especially if it has a great matching. You're telling me, hey, wait, take that and pay this debt off. I don't think Dave would want me to do that. I really don't. Unless I can't afford to do it for real, I don't think he would want me to do that. But I'm not in that position where I can't afford to do it. Okay? So once again, I'm in multiple pots at one time. So let's get down here to save for your college. I can understand these. Let's kind of not look at 5 and 6 for right now, but we will look at 7. And I want to tell you why we're going to look at 7. Build wealth. Your retirement is a form of wealth, okay? Because if you needed it, you can cash it out and use it. Is it ideal? No. But even if you listen to Dave himself, he will give the advice of, hey, do this. Is that ideal for the baby steps? Maybe that's not his ideal, but he's even saying to you, money is fungible. And you can use that money when you need to use it. Okay? So then let's go back down here to 7. Build wealth and give. Okay, let's talk about give. Up here, when we're saving our $1,000 for our starter emergency fund, he's suggesting to you, hey, you're going to set up a budget to do this. When you once again go out and look at all the information on Dave's site, in his 11 categories, he has give. So if I go by what the other person said that I failed, because I mentioned I'm already giving, I failed because I'm giving I'm not supposed to be doing this. But up here, when you're setting up to start saving for this emergency fund, on the site, it even tells you here are the suggested 11 categories. Give is on there. Then that's a contraindication then by Dave, right? No, I don't think so. Dave has a giving spirit. At any point in here that you can give, give. And there's no way I'm going to tell somebody that is spiritual, that goes to church, that gives tithe, oh, pay down all that debt. When you believe in God and that's your thing and you want to pay your tithes, you find your way to pay your tithes. You may forego investing in your 401k or something like that to pay your tithes. But if you feel strong that I'm going to give and I'm going to give to the Lord, I'm going to give to the house of God, but I'm still going to save and I'm going to budget all that in, by God, you do that. I will never knock a person for that. So I can see how that individual feels I failed, or thinks, not feels, they can think I failed. But I see how I'm doing what a lot of people in our community do. And what we do is we work in multiple pots at a time. We also understand with the power of zero-based budgeting, with cash stuffing, with cash challenges. We understand with all of that how we are able to attain many of these goals. We're able to obtain many of these goals. We're able to get an emergency fund, paying off debt faster. Even if we don't pay it all off, we can get a sizable amount down. We understand the sacrifices that we're willing to make in order to do this. Even up in these steps before we get down to this step here and this step. Look, paying off your home, getting to that step there. So the teachable moment here for everybody is budgets are fluid, money is fungible. So the last thing that that person did say, it had to do with, we have a house that we can't afford if my husband is helping me, is my husband is choosing to help me, and how can he choose to chip in when it's our house? Yeah, it's our house, but a lot of you may know everybody's household doesn't run the same. And that's where I think that people traditionally feel like it's our money. I have come across in my lifetime a lot of people, even back in the 90s, I've run across a lot of older women that were married to men. That's because that's who I talked to. And men may have been like this too, that they had separate accounts and then they had a house account. And they were okay with that. And you know what? They lived in peace and harmony. They were cool with that. Because what she did with her money is what she did with her money, what he did with his money is what he did. And they came together to pay the house bills. One may be responsible for one thing, one may be responsible for another, and this house account paid for certain things. What she did didn't affect him. So, for example, if their money's together and she went out and she spent $2,000, he's not going to complain to her about it because he can't see that's her money. Just like whatever he does over here is his money. Now, granted, we want everybody to work together so we can work towards a goal. However, having separate accounts in a house account is okay. Having these two people, the partners, they have their responsibilities. That's their responsibilities, and that's okay. To say that someone purchased the house more than they can afford, you really don't know because you only know what people put out there. You don't know everything and the circumstances going behind it. I do know that if something was to happen to me or my husband, we both know the house is paid off. That's one thing we do know. We know we'll always have a place to live. I love this community. I really do. And I want you guys to know the reason why I brought this back up because I wanted to give an example of how budgets are fluid, money is fungible, and you're always working in different categories. And you're doing a great job, guys. You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work, okay? And if you like what you heard, and also my husband dropping something, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on the notification bells, and save the day. Thank you very much, guys. See you at the next video.